I'm Lindsey Leavitt.
And I'm Robin Mellom.
And this is the Pages Between Us Project. Today we want to talk about the first part of brainstorming, brain mushing. This scientific term that, well, Robin and I just made it up, is basically kneading the dough of your brain. It's getting it ready to grow and to cook. How you get your mind ready and come up with ideas, that's brain mushing.
Creator types is what helps us figure out how to get our minds ready to come up with ideas. So you have to figure out if you are visual, are you a dreamer, are you auditory or logical? You can figure out what kind of creator you are by looking at our previous video. What is your style and how you all can work together? So here are 3 tools to get your brain ready for brainstorming. 1, brain jot. 2, talk in circles. And 3, get moving.
So the first part of brain mushing, which is pre-brainstorming, is to get your pen moving, to make sure that your brain is connecting to that piece of paper and pen or computer. So the first activity is you to actually get a pencil or pen or marker or crayon and a notebook. So go to a blank page. I don't care if it's a completely blank page. I don't care if it's clean. I don't care if you write across the whole page big. I don't care if you write upside down. I don't care if the words are in a circle. Whatever you want to do, it's not going to matter, because guess what? We're going to close our eyes to do this. And so of course it's not going to be perfect. And we don't want it to be perfect. Perfect does not come in a first draft. All this is getting words out of your brain. So we're going to set a timer for 30 seconds. And during that time, any word, idea, thought that pops into your head, write it down on the paper. And you're going to do that with your eyes closed. Let me show you what I just came up with. Now I'm being very honest with you. There was no pre-thought gone into this whatsoever. None. I did not think I'm doing this video and I have to write these certain words. I did this activity purely and simply, and here's what I have.
Jello, aliens, Civil War, fried bacon grease,
toe jam, bacon grease, and then I wrote hand, but I have no idea what hand means. I don't even know what thought that was there. So from that, I'm going to circle 3 that is actually something I would want to spend more thinking about, some more time thinking about.
So for mine, I came up with cookies, crinkle, smells, feet, apples, upside down, friends, giraffes, and unicorns. So now I'll circle 3 that I want to think about a little bit more, right?
Right, that's great, Robin. So I did my 3. And I have toe jam, my best friend from 3rd grade, alien garbage. Now I actually don't remember who my best friend was in 3rd grade. 3rd grade was a very uneventful mental year in recollection. So it might be because it's something I don't know about. Sometimes we have an idea that pops into our head and it's a very clear memory, but sometimes there's no memory at all. And that's almost a mystery that we have, that it's why don't I know more about that? And that's what I want to explore.
Okay, so I circled unicorns, giraffe, and friends, because now looking at that, I just thought, how cool would it be if a unicorn and a giraffe decided to be friends? What conflict would come from that?
So that leads us into our next part of brain mushing. And again, you could do this in any order. You might find that this activity was really difficult, but the next one's easier. We're just giving you a whole bunch of, we're taking this brain and just putting it into a ball, and what works for you works for you. So the next one is something to do together with your co-creator. And this is number 2, talking in circles. Now, part of Robin and I's process of creation, we have a lot of this in our brain mushing period, is the talking in circles. How does talking in circles usually look to us together, Robin?
Well, you start talking and then I go, oh, wait. And I interject and then we go back and forth. And next thing you know, we're down a rabbit hole that's kind of cool that we didn't know we were going to go down.
Yes. And sometimes because we figured out what different kinds of creators we are, I have to talk things out quite a bit, and Robin learns from writing things down. So it works very well in our collaboration that a lot of the talking in circles is me saying stuff. Robin might not say her idea out loud as she's writing stuff down. So when we look at our notes later, we'll find that Robin has written a whole bunch more stuff than what's been said out loud too. And that's also part of talking in circles, and that's okay. So we are going to do a quick talking in circles brain mush between Robin and I. So for talking in circles, the first activity is just a really basic word association. I'll say a word out loud, Robin will say a word out loud, and we'll just go back and forth to see when our brains are mushed together, if there's anything that we like that comes from it. So, word association. You ready, Robin? Here we go. First word is tree.
Monkey.
Banana.
Straw.
Turtles.
Shells.
Mermaids.
Unicorns.
Greatest thing that's ever been on the earth ever.
Bigfoot.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Burning smells.
Lavender.
Pillows.
Strawberry fields.
The Beatles.
So, Robin, from that little idea, isn't it interesting that unicorns popped up again? And my immediate reaction was, oh my goodness, I love unicorns. I love thinking about them. So from this activity, we can either take one of our brain jots or something from word association. And again, the brain jot, that was just 30 seconds. You can do that for hours. I would hope that you would spend a lot longer with it. I would hope that you and your co-creator would talk a lot longer about word association. But this moves us into the next part, which is the actual talking in circles. And this idea comes from where really almost every writer's ideas come from, and it's two words, and that is what if. And when we start on the what if train, there's no getting off at any point, because with any idea, there's a question you can ask, and there's some way to explore it more, fiction, nonfiction. So Robin, to do the what if, I'm just going to ask a question, what if, and then you're going to answer that with another what if question. Here we go.
What if unicorns went to school?
What if unicorn school taught them how to not be magical?
What if unicorns didn't know that they were magical at all?
What if unicorns didn't believe in humans?
What if there was one unicorn that believed in humans and no other unicorn did?
Let's do this for a nonfiction idea, okay? Or an essay, a personal essay. So what if Robin and I live next door to each other?
What if Lindsey and I started our own club?
What if we only let people in the club who didn't wear socks?
What if the kids who did wear socks got upset and they protested?
What if we did a counter protest where we took our socks and stapled them to billboards? Sometimes with this activity, there's nothing, just because we've said it out loud, it doesn't mean it's a good idea. It doesn't mean that there's any logic. It doesn't mean it could actually go anywhere. Sometimes we feel that when we've written something, we're so used to turning this in to our teacher, and we want it to be, this is the right way to do it. And with brain mushing, there is no right way. So we could do this activity. You and your co-creator could call each other on the phone every night and just what if. And it's a really fun game because it lets you be nonsensical. You doesn't have to follow each other. There doesn't have to have any rhyme or reason to why we ask this next. You really can go squirrel, squirrel in the middle of anything, because squirrel's still an idea at this point. Number 3 for our brain mushing activity is get moving. Now, we want to make sure that our brain is connecting to our fingers. And sometimes the best way to do that is some sort of meditation or movement. And this can feel really silly. And the reason this can feel really silly is because this is really silly. And what's really to our advantage right now, maybe you're not in a classroom, or maybe you're at home, or maybe you're outside, is nobody's going to see you doing this. And so we need to have zero self-awareness. Now we're going to close our eyes to do it, so no one should be seeing you. But I know that probably sometimes when we close our eyes and other people are around, we still kind of peek and look at them. So this is no peeking, and really you don't have to close your eyes at this. You guys can do this activity after, but if you want to keep your eyes closed, I'll just be saying out loud the actual motion we're doing, so it should be fine. So first thing is we're going to close our eyes, and we're going to start at the top of our head by putting both of our hands interlocked on top of our head. Now we want those ideas to actually flow out of our brain, so we are going to let them seep like an egg cracked on our head down the side of our head. And actually that idea is going to go into our shoulders, And I want you to just move those shoulders around, wiggle it, and maybe even cross your arms in front of you so that you can have those ideas flow down your arms into your fingers. You can wash your hands. You can move your fingertips together. You can do jazz hands, whatever you want there. Now, open your eyes. This activity, really, we can go from body part to body part, which is really helpful. It's also really helpful to do some breathing and to actually take an idea and to breathe it in and then to release it from our toes. So I'm going to take unicorn. And when I'm taking that idea, it's rolling up, up, and then I'm pushing it down, down until it goes to my toes. And all I'm thinking in my head is unicorn, unicorn, unicorn. So with these ideas, it's just something sometimes physically that to get yourself moving and to get yourself active and to let yourself be free to open up creativity. Because we have kind of been trained to sit down and just easily consume something. Maybe we're just watching something like this video, maybe we're eating something, but to create, you're putting something out there and you have to kind of reset yourself physically to be able to put that out. Robin, what's something that you find helps you with getting moving, that helps your brain explode?
So there's a couple of things that I do. One is that I have to change my scenery, my setting of where I'm going to start thinking about things, because I find that my brain gets kind of, actually research on this, that if you stay in one spot for too long, your brain relaxes almost too much and it doesn't pay attention to your surroundings as much. So I go into a different room or I sit in a different spot, and then I like to go outside. I often find most of my ideas when I go for a hike somewhere, and I even set this intention in my head. I say it out loud before I start walking. I know this might sound strange, but I tell myself, I want you to figure out, let's suppose we're going to write about unicorns. What does this unicorn want most in life? And I set the question in my head and then I go walk.
Been so many ideas, like construction sounds and the great outdoors and my kids following me on a walk that I'm not going to show you, and unicorns. Still loving that idea.
And by the time I get back, I have some answers. And then I always have a notebook nearby and I jot down everything because I got to capture it or else it floats away. So I always have to write it down after I go do something physical like that.
So now that we hope that those brain mushing activities help prepare your brain to get loads of ideas. Remember, you can brain jot, you can talk in circles, get moving, or really anything that helps you and your co-creator get going. It all works.
Once you've done those 3 things, then come back here. You're going to watch the next video. So make sure you hit like, subscribe down below, and we'll see you next time.
Brain mushing.
Ah! Let's do it!